So as soon as, Ramadan starts, وَتَكُونُوا مِن بَعْدِهِ قَوْمًا صَالِحِينَ, after shaitan is gone, you're going to be good. You're great. No, it doesn't work that way. He's done pretty good training for 11 months. And now you're on your own, and you're still conditioned to do what he's been conditioning you to do. This month is actually a time for us to understand what it means to give Allah alone. What it means to give up before Allah. And by the way, the idea of alone is, in the case of Allah, Allah Azza wa Jal is promising, guaranteeing that He's going to give you back. Just like He says, okay, why don't you hold off on eating and drinking? Why don't you hold off on intimacy? Hold off on it for these hours for me. And Allah promises you, guarantees you rewards and benefits. And those rewards and benefits are not on the iftar table. There are much more rewards and benefits than what's sitting at the table. What you're getting out of this month is so valuable that it's actually going to be the only thing of value when we come in front of Allah. Now, what has He given me and left me in charge of? He gave me a tongue. He gave me eyes. He gave me this body. He didn't just give me wealth. He gave me a mind. He gave me time. He gave me so much. And He's asking, out of all of that, I want you to give me back. If He's given you energy, He wants your energy. If He's given you talent, He wants your talent. If He's given you intellect, He wants you to use your intellect. You use your sharp mind. Spend out of it. Spend out of what Allah has given you. Give it to Him. Give it to Him and give it to Him. Some of you, mashallah, men and women, have very sharp tongues, for example. You know, if somebody says something to you, you can say something nuclear in response and silence them for generations. You know how to do it. The words come rushing from your gut, up your throat, into your, and out of your mouth. They're ready to come out. And you say to yourself, you know what? My anger and my response, I'm going to put it back in. I'm going to swallow it. I'm going to give this as a loan to Allah. I'm going to give it to, and Allah promises He will give me much back more in return. I'm loaning my anger over. I don't want it now. When impulses come in this Ramadan, what does Allah do? Allah teaches us this entire concept. Delayed gratification. When fasting begins, and by the time fasting ends, you and I are going to feel hunger. We're going to feel thirst. As a matter of fact, our Messenger ﷺ even told us that fasting extends beyond food and drink and intimacy. It goes beyond that. Our tongues are fasting. Our eyes are fasting. Our ears are fasting. Our limbs are fasting. Why? In that time, in those hours, I've decided that I'm going to be extra cautious. I'm going to be more aware of what my eyes fall on. I'm going to be more aware of what comes out of my mouth. The people that are annoying to you before Ramadan are still annoying to you during Ramadan. The people who make you angry before Ramadan started still make you angry when Ramadan has started. The things that agitate you, the things that, or the things that you're drawn to, like you like to waste your time with them. Entertainment. Some people lose themselves in entertainment for hours and hours. Some people lose themselves in social media for the day sun goes up and down. They're scrolling screens. That's what they're doing. What is actually valuable? In this life, money is valuable. House is valuable. Clothes are valuable. Jewelry is valuable. These things are valuable. Health is valuable. Your body is valuable. These are things that we value. Good food is valuable. These are things that we value in life. You wouldn't want to wear dirty clothes. You wouldn't want to live in a bad neighborhood or in an ugly house. You want to be in a place that has more value because you value yourself. But one day comes, a day is coming where none of this has any value. None of it.
Now Allah says, now the human being will be informed. What did he make a priority out of? And what did he put on the back burner? That's the translation I'll prefer here. Bima qaddama, what did he give priority to? What took taqdeem for him? What was priority number one? What took precedence? وَمَا أَخَّرَ, and what could wait? What were the things that you put on the back burner? The crime of the human being isn't necessarily that he doesn't do a good deed. The human being says, it can wait. I can do it later. The crime of the human being isn't necessarily that he doesn't leave sin. He says, I'll leave it later. Or, let me do what I want right now. I'll do that later. I have time. Taqdeem and ta'khir, not the grammar one. The one for life. Human beings will be thoroughly informed. What were your priorities? What did you put ahead? What came first for you? What came later for you? Bima qaddama wa akhar. The other meaning of qaddama wa akhar in Tafsir Juz' Amma I mentioned also. Qaddama also means what you've sent forward. You've done deeds, you've done works, and every one of them are waiting for you. Our deeds are waiting for us. Kullu nafsin bima kasabat rahina. You've sent collateral over. You've sent deeds over for processing. And you're going to meet those deeds on Judgment Day. I don't meet my deeds now, I just do them now. I will meet them then. وَوَجَدُوا مَا عَمِلُوا حَاضِرًا. They're going to be standing face to face in front of their salats. If your salat was lousy, you'll be standing in front of a lousy salat, staring right at you. That's what it's going to be. If you were lying, cheating, backbiting, angry, arrogant, condescending, whatever you were, you'll be looking right at you in the face. And then you're going to say, مَالِ هَذَا الْكِتَابِ. That's the reality of it. بِمَا قَدَّمَ وَأَخَّرَ. What did he make a priority out of? What did he put on the back burner? This is one of those life-transforming ayat. The human being will be thoroughly informed. This was your priority. This is what you spent time on. This is what you did with your free time. This is what you thought can wait. You had all these dreams. I want to memorize the Qur'an. What did you do for it? How many seasons of how many TV shows did you watch instead? That was a priority for you. Well, you wanted to memorize, but it can wait though. Inshallah, one day, when my heart is purified, then I shall start. بِمَا قَدَّمَ وَأَخَرَ بَلِ الْإِنسَانِ. No. Yes, on that day the human being will be given thorough news, but it's not like the human being's blind now. Rather, the case is that the human being, عَلَى نَفْسِهِ, against his own self, basira, is fully insightful. There is one person that knows so much about you, and nobody else knows about you. And besides Allah, and that's you. You have an insight into who you are, what your flaws are, what your limitations are, what your capabilities are, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what opportunities you avail, what opportunities you get lazy about. You know that about yourself more than anybody else. And you and I decide to lie to ourselves. We just decide we're not going to have an honest conversation with ourselves, and about ourselves with Allah. We don't want to have that honest conversation. For some people, all they want at the end of their life, what is success to them? Maybe I'll own a house. That's success for them. Maybe if I have this much money, that means I have success. Maybe if I got married to this one or that one, maybe that means I have success. But I go back to what I started with. There are some people who are happy with doing just the minimum. Just the minimum. But I am here to tell you, the young people in the audience today, Allah has blessed you, and I am telling you, He expects great things from you. He does not expect the minimum from you. There are so many Muslims, the only thing left of Islam is their name. That's the only thing left. They don't care about salat, they don't care about halal and haram. They're far from this deen. What can I do to further this deen? What can I do I shouldn't just be happy that so many people come and attend Jumu'ah. Does that mean everybody's heart is clean? Does that mean that we don't need any more reminder? Is that what that means? Or are there evils in our society? Are there youth that are turning towards drugs? Are there young people that are just living their life for no purpose? All they do is play video games and watch movies and go to sleep. And if you ask them for a purpose, they say, I want to graduate and get a job. Is that a goal? Get a job? Allah gave us such higher goals. Your job itself is a means to a higher end. But you know what? We are living in strange times. The people who need the da'wah the most today are the Muslims themselves. But even if you get a good job, but you don't do your job. You got the job, but you show up late every day. You got the job, but you don't finish any projects. You're sitting there at the desk wasting your time. You're going to lose that job. Somebody else will come and do it for you. You will not keep that job even if you qualified. Qualifications are not enough. You have to do the work. Allah Azza wa Jal is giving all of us, He's already qualified us. We are people of La ilaha illallah. We are already qualified. But that doesn't mean we're doing the work. If we don't do the work, if we don't concern ourselves, If we don't care, then you know what's going to happen. إِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُونُوا أَمْثَالَكُمْ. You turn away and Allah will replace you with a nation other than yourselves, and they will not be like you. They will not be lazy like you. And those are when young Muslim people have real iman, when young Muslims have real strength in their belief, then they have the power to change the world. They have the power to make the world a better place. But when young Muslim people don't have real iman, they don't have real conviction, then they are a waste of space. They are a waste of society, a waste of a generation. The only thing in their life, the most important thing in their life is when is the next movie coming out. The most important thing is when is the next iPhone coming out. The next most important thing is, man, I wish I had that car. That's it. Your life doesn't go any further than that. My teacher used to say that Islam is similar to climbing a mountain. You know, when you're climbing a mountain, you throw a hook and you climb. If you throw a hook not very high, then you will only reach that much. You can't reach any further. If your goal is money, if your goal is a six-pack, if your goal is a car, if your goal is a promotion, if your goal is entertainment, if your goal is girls, whatever your goal is, then you're only going to get that, you won't get anything else. But if your goal is something higher, to serve something more than yourself, you don't live a selfish life, you want to live for the sake of Allah and for the benefit of others, that's how you want to live, then you will benefit yourself definitely, but you will be honored in the eyes of Allah because you set your goal much higher. Our deen in this beautiful ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal describes it, قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي. This is my path. A sabil is a path. And you know what? Allah did not say in this ayah, قُلْ هَذَا دِينِي. This is my deen. Tell them this is my religion. This is my Islam. This is my truth. This is my book. He didn't describe it with any other language except this is my path. And all of you know a path is like a journey. So Islam itself is being described as a journey in this ayah. What does that mean? That means in any journey you have to make progress, right? So even if you take one step, you are more closer to your destination than the day before or the step before. Every single moment you are making progress in a journey. And in this ayah, Allah's Messenger says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, this religion of mine and this religion of yours and ours, Islam, is a journey, which means I am supposed to do something more for this deen than I did yesterday. And I'm supposed to do more tomorrow and more tomorrow and more tomorrow. I'm supposed to go further.